Happy Sunday. Welcome to the 3 a.m. Knitter Podcast, episode 19. If this is your first time here, a very warm welcome. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back to sit a bit and knit with me. Let's see, what is the date? It's October the 29th. Where did October go? Seriously, where did October go? I don't know. Seems like time is moving awfully quickly right now. So it doesn't help. You know what I noticed the other day? It doesn't help that, I get up in the morning at stupid o'clock, like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. It's just my internal clock is kind of boom, awake. And then, by the time 5 o'clock, 5:30, 5:45 rolls around, it's already starting to get dark in the afternoon. And I'm like, not really happy about that. Anyhow, I digress. Welcome. So to get some housekeeping out of the way right away, you can find me on Instagram as 3amknitter. My email address is 3amknitter@gmail.com. Snail Mail address is down below in the description box. I have a group on Ravelry called 3am Knitter. You can jump on there. Things have been a little slow from me lately in that area, but I do promise that things will be picking up. I have a newsletter that comes out at the beginning of the month. So if you haven't already subscribed to the newsletter, there is a link down below to get yourself on that email list. I do send out the newsletter at the beginning of every month. It includes information about when the podcast episodes will be, virtual knit nights, information about upcoming test knit opportunities, and lots of other things that might be coming up during the month. So feel free to go ahead and subscribe. And then, of course, I have launched Patreon for the 3am Knitter. So this is in a growing phase right now. There are a few levels of support that you can participate in if you are so called to. So I will link to Patreon down below and you can go over and take a look. I'm really hoping to grow the Patreon channel, if you will. There's going to be lots of really neat things that we're going to do over there, and lots of things for you to participate in as a supporter of me and the work that I do in this realm. So I look forward to seeing you over there too, if you are called to participate. Okay, so a little bit of a I didn't bring my knitting. What is wrong with me? A little bit of personal update. So as you may remember from the last episode, I have enrolled. I have signed up for the retreat being held by Sisterhood Fibers here in Nova Scotia. So it's a weekend retreat where you get together with a whole bunch of other people, and there is some just sitting and knitting and relaxing and meeting new people, and there are some workshops and some vendors and things like that, and it's fully catered. So it's a weekend away to just absolutely do nothing but knit, talk about knit, think about knitting, and other fiber crafts and things like that. So that's taking place in March, which is not too far away. So I have put my deposit down and I am ready to go. So I'm looking very much forward to that. What else can I tell you? Yeah, just the days are getting shorter. Doesn't make me happy. It's going to be time, I think, relatively soon, maybe even this week, for me to pull out my my artificial sunlight lamp that I use in the winter on my desk for work. Although my desk, you can't see it from here, my desk over there is kind of in front of a window. Like I have windows up on above my desk, so I do get some sunlight that comes in. It's the shorter days, right, that are kind of miserable. So I try to counteract those issues of seasonal affective disorder with that kind of artificial light, which, isn't the best, but it does do the trick from time to time. yeah, that's pretty much it from a personal catch up. I've been busy knitting, busy planning, busy designing, busy doing all the things. So treated myself to a vacation day on Friday. So I'm just coming to the end of a long weekend for me now, which was great. It gave me almost a whole day of sitting in my beautiful comfy recliner chair with the TV on and knitting in my hand. This yellow sweater right here is what I was knitting on. So I'll tell you more about that in just a sec. All right, what am I wearing? Well, you know, obviously I'm not wearing a sweater. I was going to wear my field sweater again, but I didn't want to wear it two episodes in a row. So today I am wearing some knit socks. So something you need to know about me is if I can go barefoot, I will go barefoot. In the spring, summer, and sometimes in the fall, if we get some super nice weather, I am in bare feet. Wear my Birkenstocks with bare feet. Get outside with my feet on the earth as much as I can. But when it starts to get cold, it's time to put some socks on. And so, you know, I call them foot prisons because, you know, I don't like wearing socks a lot at all. But if I have to wear socks, I will wear homemade socks. So there's no way that I'm going to be able to lift my leg all the way up here to show you. So I'm just going to take off one of my socks. So this is a super old sock. It's got a super cute design here in the front. And if you just bear with me for one sec, I will go to, I should have had this ready for you, but I decided at the last minute to put these socks on. So, oh, I don't want my library. I want my projects. Fingers crossed, I have a Ravelry project for these. Oh, I do. Yay. Okay, so these are, let me just show them to you again. You see that beautiful texture on the front? Goes all the way down. Yeah, I love these socks. So these are the Interconnection Socks by Sheila Bond. So I'll show you my pics. That is a terrible picture, but okay. Maybe that'll give you, there it is on my foot. So you can see they're a little bit of shorty sock, right? They only go part way, see, part way above the ankle. Toe up, huh? Look at that. I actually did knit some toe up socks. So let's see, 2.5 millimeter needles or US 1.5. Lisa Sousa Tomorrow, which is a colorway in Tomorrow Bayberry colorway. This is the Bayberry colorway. I bought this at New York Sheep and Wool or Rhinebeck in October of 2012. And my notes here from 2019, wow. June 2nd to June 16th, 2019. Cast on June 2nd, finished June 19th. Easy to follow pattern. I followed it exactly, including the heel. I may try an afterthought heel next time. I never did try an afterthought heel. 9.5 repeats for the foot and 4.5 repeats for the leg. So let's see about this pattern. I have it in my library, but it is a paid for pattern. $7.22 Canadian, $4.99 US. Sheila Bond again. This pattern reminds me of the web of life and how we are all connected. It also makes me think of holding hands. This pattern was so fun to do. The pattern repetition is quick to memorize. That's true. As always, big, huge hug. So, oh, that is, I like her colorway here, huh? So there's a close-up. Oh, geez, Louise, sorry. Let me make a full screen out of that. There's a close-up of the stitch. there. Sorry, I was trying to get the glare off the screen. So yeah, would I knit these again? I don't know, because if you remember from a couple of episodes ago, I think I talked about how toe-up socks are not my favorite. I don't know what it is. I know that there is pluses and minuses about doing the toe-up because, you know, you can use all your yarn. But there's something, I mean, I'm a cuff down, heel flap and gusset girl. Kitchener stitch in the toe. That's my preferred method. So anyhow, so that's what I'm wearing. The Interconnection Socks. Just as an FYI, if you're interested in that colorway that Sheila used, that is Sock Obsession Yarns Resilient Smooth Sock 4-ply. I don't know anything about this. There's not very many projects. There's 9 on Ravelry, mine being one of them. Yeah, I might try them again. I don't know. I do like them. I like the design on the top. So we'll see. Okay. Let us jump into finished objects. La, 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 la. I'm so pleased. So, as you know, the lovely Jodi Brown, Mrs. Brown Bags from Grocery Girl fame, has had me knit her another sweater. And I'm being very gentle with this because it's still wet. I'm still blocking it. So bear with me just one sec. I'm just going to walk over here so I can show you the whole sweater. So stay tuned. Now, this is still wet and is still blocking. I'm hoping it dries by tomorrow so I can send it out. So, as you can see, it is something. Oh yeah. So, I wish you guys could feel this sweater. It is the softest thing ever. Whew. So it's knit out of this limoncello colorway with a little pop of, this is like an icy blue. And I call it the Franken sweater. Bear with me while I just put this up here. I don't want to hang it. So I call it the Franken sweater because Jodi sent me the yarn and her favorite sweater. So this is not a knit sweater. This is a, I don't even know what the right word is. This is a sweater you buy in the store. So it's not hand knit. Commercially made sweater. I don't know. Yeah, it's Sunday morning, sorry. So apparently she sent me this sweater because she said she likes the way this one fits, right? So there we've got this sweater as a reference to, you know, the length of the raglan, the length of the body, that kind of thing. And then she sent me the yarn. So I will put up on my project page for this the exact amount of yarn that I used, but for the main color, Sonder Yarn Company, this is Muse, which you can see is 90 merino, 10 linen. It's a fingering weight, 366 meters or 400 yards per skein, 100 grams. It is highlighter yellow. It's kind of showing up a little bit green. I don't know, maybe that helps. And then I held this together with the same colorway, but on 74 Surrey alpaca and 26% silk, limoncello colorway. So this is a lace weight, 300 meters or 328 yards on this skein. Gauge is variable, of course, because of it being lacy, and a 50 gram skein. So I held these two together for the body. Whoops. Look at the halo on that. Can you see that? Oh. And then she also sent me, sorry, excuse me for leaning down. She also sent me this kind of icy blue gray. I suspect this is Frankie Gray fibers. And so I held those two together. Actually, I think I have a little ball left. There. I held, look at the halo on that. So I held those two together just to do a row or two around the top of the collar, around the bottom of the ribbing, and around the bottom of the ribbing on the arms. So basically what I did is using her sweater as kind of a template. I knit Jessie Made Designs Cozy Raglan, Cozy Classic Raglan, which is just that. It's just a raglan sweater. It is a paid for pattern, $12 US, $17.35 Canadian. And then Jodi wanted me to incorporate ribbing in the sleeve. So you can see on this one, this is an Espastrico pattern, Paloma. You can see that there's ribbing in the sleeve. So I wonder if I can show you that. Oh, probably not. Let me see if I can. It's still so damp. I'm just turning it over. So on the outside of the sleeve here, we've got this ribbing, which moves right into the ribbing for the bottom of the sleeve. Now, this ribbing is not going to be as noticeable as it is on this sweater, only because of the halo and of the yarn, right? So I actually stayed up late last night to finish this and to get it blocking. I'm hoping it will be dry by tomorrow so I can get it in the mail back to Jodi in Edmonton. It was a fun knit. It was really nice to knit something that was just plain old knitting. No fancy stitches, just great, sit in front of the TV, calm your heart kind of knitting. So I'm hoping that she loves it. It was a great opportunity for me to try out Sonder Yarn Company because I'd never knit with anything from them before. So that was awesome. Now, I mean, I have knit with Frankie Gray. You saw my field sweater. So that was awesome. So that is my only FO because I wanted to get it done by today so I could get it in the mail to her tomorrow, if it's dry enough. So that is finished, my only finished object. I was rather monogamous over the last, okay, let me rephrase that. That was a blatant lie. I have been relatively monogamous until Thursday and Friday, or until Thursday of last week. Yeah, and so that brings us to whips. I was monogamous until my LYS started the final year of Adventurous knitting project. So I've talked about this in lots of episodes before, and I will link to it, to my LYS's website down below, and also to their Facebook group, the Year of Adventurous Knitting. So it's not too late to get into the group for this year. I suspect, I don't know this for a fact yet, but I suspect they will run this type of thing again next year. So it's just a year of knit-alongs, so we all get together and knit a project. The idea is to use the advent calendar that they put out, but you know that you're not left out if you don't. So yeah, if you're interested, join along. So we are knitting a new project called, where's my bag? The Late Bloomer Mittens. So I am working from stash because I still do have these 2 shelves of yarn, and did I want to buy more yarn for this project? Yes, I did. Did I buy more yarn for this project? No, I did not. Pulled from stash. So I am holding this project in one of my Be By Designs project bags. This is just a drawstring bag. Sits nice and flat. My lovely friend Bridget from Ontario is the wonderfully creative maker behind Be By Designs. Follow her on Instagram. I'll put her down below as well. Beautifully lined. The drawstring has these nice wooden buttons. And yeah, just lots of feathers on this one. So the Late Bloomers, as I can't get my project bag open, there we go. So the Late Bloomer Mittens is a pattern by Kristen Leggett. I don't know if I said that right. It is a paid for pattern. It is $7 on Ravelry. It was originally in the book or magazine Making, but now it is for sale on the for sale as an individual pattern. So I will enlarge the pattern page so you can you see that? Isn't that beautiful? So basically what these mittens are they're knit in DK. Now these ones here in the project were knit with sport and lace held together, 3.5 and 4 millimeter needles, or 4 and 6 US. They don't take a lot of yarn, 180 to 290 yards, 165 to 265 meters. And they come in 3 sizes, although, oh, it's for the length. So they come in 3 length sizes, 2 palm circumferences. So 7¼ or 8-inch palm circumference, 18.5 or 20.5 centimeters. And then the length ranges from 10 to 11. So 10, 10.5, and 11 inches, or 25.5, 26.5, and 28 centimeters in length. So they made their first appearance in Making magazine number 10. Pattern was conceived on a sunny autumn day in Toronto. It was during a bike ride past lawns and gardens decorated with fall foliage that the idea took hold. Dinner plate-sized dahlias in burnt orange, yellow, and red bumped heads with towering sunflowers reaching towards the blue sky. The mittens were designed to imitate this jubilant mishmash of blooms. Isn't that lovely? So the mittens are knit in stockinette stitch in the round from the cuff up. An inner cuff that will fold into the inside of the mittens is knit first. The mittens are shaped with increases for the thumb gusset. Decreases shape the top of the mittens. Thumb stitches are then picked up and the thumb is knit in the round. Follow the charts to add knot stitches throughout. After blocking, the mittens are embellished with embroidery that surrounds each knot stitch to resemble flowers. Optional sewn liners are constructed and hand stitched into place. So you can make these double thickness. So I have cast on, and so unfortunately, my Chigu needles were in use. And so I had to cast on using my Addi lace needles, interchangeables. And I don't like these needles anymore. I hate the cables. I don't have a cable, and I didn't have DPNs in the right size, and I didn't have another fixed circular that I could use. So I had to, because I wanted to cast on, I had to use these. I look at the cable. These drive me nuts. I will be moving these to another needle. So I haven't gotten far, but you can see these knots here, right? And they're on both sides. So these are going to be the centers of the flowers. So I am, let me just pull this off the needle. That's the front. So it gives you an idea. So these are going to be all embroidered flowers after the fact. So like I say, good girl that I am, I pulled from stash. So I am using, do you remember my red Eyelet Pop top? That one that I made, the short sleeve kind of A-line. I'll link to it below. I've talked about it lots. I've worn it a few times. It was designed by the owner, one of the owners of my LYS, Andrea Rammel. So I had some Aran color in the paint. I did that in Patton's DK. Use your words, Anne. So I had a few balls of this left in this colorway. So I'm using this for my mittens. And then I thought I would use the leftover mohair that I have from my field sweater. So this is Frankie Gray Fibers in gingerbread colorway, right? I think that'll be beautiful. But then I also found in my stash a whole bunch, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 and a bit balls of this Patton's lace in the, it's called the Midas colorway. I used this for a house sweater that I talked about way back in episode 1 or 2. It's not a sweater that I, wear out anywhere. It's a house sweater, right? So I thought I might use that too. It's not mohair, that's for sure. I stand corrected. 80% acrylic, 10% mohair, 10% wool. It's certainly not mohair like this. But anyway, I thought, for interest, instead of using this, this Aran color here, I could dig into these browns here. I don't know. So I put it in my project bag just so when I get to that embroidery part, I can try it out. So that is my first work in project. My first work in progress, the Late Bloomer Mittens. I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody in the knit along. Looking forward to seeing what they do with this one. So I will link to this down below, and you can go check out the pattern if you're called to do so, or you can check out my project page. I promise to update it. Yeah, me and Ravelry, I tell you, I love it, but I always have these great plans on being super organized, and then I go really well for a while, and then everything just falls apart. So if you have any tips or tricks for me about staying consistent on Ravelry, I would appreciate that. Anyway, so that is the first work in progress. Now, to go along with that, sorry, I just got to turn my page on my notes here. Yeah, I showed you this one last episode. So to go along with those late bloomer mitts, we're also doing, or I'm also doing, okay, hello, the Floral Headband pattern. Same sort of idea. It's got that really cool twist in it. So this is a free pattern on Ravelry. It's by Dejna Twajaga. I apologize if that is incorrect. So yeah, free pattern on Ravelry. There's been 26 projects completed. Some of them are just beautiful. Yeah, really, really like this pattern. So I'm going to make a matching headband to go with my new mittens. So basically the way that this one works, the headband's knit flat in stockinette. Excuse me. Then you do your embroidery. Excuse me. And then the sides are joined together and sewn up. So this one is done in fingering and lace held together. But because it's a headband, I think if you had something in your stash that you really wanted to use and it wasn't fingering and lace held together, you could make it work. It's a headband after all. So I'm going to use the same yarns for the embroidery, just so it looks like a matching set. And if I don't run out of that Aran colorway on that Patents DK classic wool, I might use that for the headband too. I don't know. I'll dig into my stash and see what I have. So that's the two of the works in progress that I have on the needles right now. Now that I have finished my commission knit, I am going to jump back into knitting the Diaphanous sweater that I told you about last episode. I put it on hold just so I could finish Jodi's sweater. So I haven't gotten any more done on it at all because I haven't touched it since then. But I'm just kind of untangling this so I can hopefully give you a decent view. So there we go. So that's as far as I've gotten so far. A little bit of stitch markers on there. This is another Jessie Made Designs. Let's see, Diaphanous Raglan. There is, so basically it is, I've got skeins over here, sorry, that are still in the skeins. So this is being knit up in this merino and this Super Kid Mohair and Mulberry Silk from this is from Natural Ewe Yarns My LYS. So the body part of it is knit with these two together, and then the sleeves are knit with just the mohair silk. So I'm going to get back into that. I'm thinking probably this afternoon. I put some dinner in the crock pot this morning before I came up to get ready to podcast, and so I think I'll have some free time to get rolling on that. So I'm looking super forward to getting back on that. I will link to my project page because I didn't bring anything up about that, but I told you all about the pattern in the previous episode or the one before that, maybe episode 17 or 18, I can't recall. But I'll link to it. And then of course, you guys know that I love, sorry, before I go on, I also found this in my stash. Look at that. So that's a close representation. So this is a skein of Shibui Silk Cloud, 60% mohair, 40% silk, 300 meters for 25 grams or 330 yards. The colorway is Pool. Yeah, so Shibui Silk Cloud. So I thought that I might, if I don't end up using the brown, I don't know, hang on just a minute, sorry. I just had an idea. I just want to get your opinion on something. What do you think? Yay or nay? Let me know in the comments what you think of these two colorways making up the flowers on the late bloomer mitts. and on that headband. Anyway, I pulled it out only because I saw it in my stash as I was looking, and I thought, oh, wow. I'm going to put it in the project bag, and I'm going to think about that, but please do let me know what you think about that. I will also post a picture of the two of them together on my Instagram stories. So if you're over on Instagram, let me know. I also forgot to mention that my Diaphanous sweater is being held in another one of my favorite. This is one of my favorite Be By Design bags. My beautiful friend Bridget from Ontario. Check out her Etsy shop. I mean, seriously, look at this bag. The straps are long enough that when I go to knit night, I can throw it over my shoulder. It is beautifully made. It has an inner pocket with a metal zip. It's a great bag. Be By Design. Love it. Love you, Bridget. Okay, so back to what I was saying before. You guys know that I love curious handmade patterns. I would argue that they are the best patterns to follow on the face of this earth. I love Helen Stewart patterns. So I signed up. I usually sign up for her Sock Society. I signed up for, oh, I did have the Diaphanous sweater up there, sorry. Good Lord. I apologize. I should have had this ready too, and for some reason, I don't have it ready. I don't know what is wrong with me. There we go. This is Knitvent. So you probably have seen this on Instagram all over the place. Knitvent 2023. I bought the collection. So this is just like her sock collections. One pattern gets released every month. There are 6 patterns in this collection. And just on Thursday was pattern 1 released. Look at this thing of beauty. So this is called the Trifle Wrap. I'm not going to read everything that she has in the description here. I will link to it on Ravelry. You can take a look. It's brilliant. It's a one size. The dimensions are approximately 28 inches wide by 76 inches long, or for us metric folks, 71 centimeters by 193. It's designed to use 24 20-gram minis of fingering weight. This sample that she has in the Ravelry project, this sample here was knit, what does she say here? A sample knit using approximately 20 grams of 24 colors of fingering weight for a total weight a fingering weight yarn, or a total of 480 grams, 2,112 yards, or 1,920 meters. 4.5 millimeter needles, or US 7. You need stitch markers, you need a tapestry needle, of course. So basically, what a lot of people are doing is using up old mini sets that they have. Some people are doing it monochromatic, so they're using, because she's given, the total yardage, some people are using 2 or 3 or 4 full skeins and just kind of breaking them up. There's already 270 projects on Ravelry, mine being one of them, but that idea of using larger skeins, if you have that, like look at that. So you've got a lighter medium tone and a darker tone, still just as beautiful as the multicolored one. So really your imagination is you know, what's going to make this the most amazing project. So that being said, I dug into my minis, and I just don't have enough of anything or enough of a color family to make the minis make sense. So then I started thinking about those people who are doing this monochromatic, or doing it like almost like in 2 or 3 colors or something like that. And I thought, what if I did this not only in different colors, but different textures, right? Because I mean, it's a relatively simple pattern, I would think. I mean, I haven't casted it on yet. I can't believe it, but I haven't. So then I got to thinking, now, if you've watched some of the previous episodes, you may remember this. I have this basket of various golds and browns and kind of copper colored yarns. I bet you I could make this work. What do you think? So, you know, making this pattern here, various textures and colors. I mean, the colors go, right? Because they're all, so this would just become not just a color story, but it would become a textured story as well. I'm going to do a couple swatches and see what I think. But what do you think? Will it work? Because if it'll work, wow, there goes a whole basket of stuff from my stash. I mean, some of this stuff, like this right here, look at the texture on that. That is beautiful. This right here, I bet you I've had it in my stash. I know that I bought that at Rhinebeck, and maybe the first time I went to Rhinebeck, so like 2009. What does it say on there? 2012. Or maybe I got it at Maryland. I don't know. So I am thinking that this is the route that I'm going to go. Let me know your thoughts on that. So even though I haven't technically cast this on yet, it is a work in progress because it is getting casted on. So there we go with that. Okay. Next, update on the Mama Earth collection. So the first pattern in the Mama Earth collection, the Budding Branch Socks, is being tested right now. Thank you for my amazing test knitters who were not only wildly patient with me getting the first draft out to them, but who, as always, have given me such amazing feedback. So that will be wrapping up shortly, and I will be starting to let you know about the collection. What's going to happen is it's going to be launched as a collection. You can buy, first it's only going out as a collection, so you can buy the collection, and then the patterns will be released one after the other, and then likely I'm going to not promise, but I'm going to say that maybe by the spring, then they'll start being for sale individually. But to start with, it will be sold as a collection. So look for updates on that. I will be looking very much forward to sharing that with you as soon as my test knitters are done. Okay, dream knitting. Let's see. I came across something called Conflux by a designer named Suzanne Summer. This is a fingering weight shawl sweater. So, Conflux is a shawl vest with a simple rectangular shape. It is knit with seamless modular construction on a bias in 2-color brioche and garter stitch using fingering weight yarn. The shawl vest is knit flat from the center out on the bias. The main part of the shawl vest is knitted in brioche and garter stitch using 2 different shades. For the contrasting collar, stitches are picked up and then worked in garter stitch, and all edges are finished with a contrasting I-cord. So when I saw this, I went, hello. Look at that. Look at that collar. So that gives you an idea. Look at that. I am intrigued. I am intrigued. Look at that thing of beauty, eh? Can you see that beautiful collar there? So, you know, for me, you know me, I love layering pieces. This just is screaming my name. It was published in 2022, fingering weight, as I said, 3.5, 4.5 millimeters. Uses a lot of yarn. 2309 to 3438 meters, 2525 to 3760 yards. It goes from extra small to 4XL. It's a $10.72 Canadian or €7 pattern, or you can get it in an ebook that has 12 patterns. Is that right? 12 patterns for $36.15 Canadian or $25 US. So if you buy the ebook, there is kind of a long shirt. There's the Conflux that I showed you, socks, a cardigan, a top, a couple of shawls, a sweater, a couple pairs of socks. I'll link to that one for you. But this one is calling my name. I have never knit brioche before, so why not do a great big gigantic project to start, right? Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to put this in my favorites and see if I still like it in a little while. So that's the first dream knitting. And then the second one is called the Gro Hat, Gro Hat, Gro Hat. It's by Fiber Tales, and I love my field sweater so much. And I've seen on Instagram that some people or some person has knit a field beret or tam. And I really, really love the idea. But then I got thinking, you know, I'm not a beret kind of girl. I would really like a hat. And then all of a sudden, this Gro Hat came across my feed. Now, it's not exactly like the motif on the field sweater, but it's pretty darn close. See that? So I'm thinking that this might be a great alternative. I like the idea of the rim that folds over because it gets windy and cold here. It's got a beautiful decrease to the top. I'm thinking that that might be one that has to go in my favorites. It is a paid for pattern, $9.24 Canadian or 45 kroners. There are 791 projects on Ravelry. It came out in December of last year, or pardon me, of the year before, 2022. DK weight hat. The Gro Hat is part of a series of grow patterns that are all inspired by growing plants. Grow means grow in Danish. Oh, well, pray tell. Let's look. Oh, I shouldn't have. Oh, come on. Wait a minute. I gotta show you guys this. No, not that one. Sorry. Where is these socks? There they are. Come on. Okay, so those mittens that I've cast on, look at these socks. Shut the front door. Anyway, I'm going to investigate this designer a little more. So anyway, those are my my dream knitting, which may be cast on knitting. Yes, I have stash that I can do it with. I could be in very big trouble. I could go from being the monogamous knitter to being the cast on all the things knitter in one fell swoop. So, all right. So things that bring me joy this week. Let us see. So I've been following Instagram, you know, some of my favorite designers and yarn producers and podcasters and things like that. And there's been some grief this past week or so, and I have nothing to say about the grief that has happened to certain makers, because I was not part of that particular festival. And some of you have reached out to me and asked me what I think about what happened. You know, during Rhinebeck weekend at Wool & Folk, and I can't speak to it because I was not a participant. I did not go to Rhinebeck this year. I did not go to Wool & Folk. So I don't have an opinion because I wasn't there. So, but it bothered me all the same, even though I wasn't there. It bothered me that people were upset. It bothered me that people were sad. It bothered me that people were having a hard time. And so last night, as I was knitting away on Jodi's beautiful yellow sweater, I was thinking to myself, I need to find something nice to watch tonight. So I thought, you know, where am I going to go for that? So I went on to my, sorry, my words aren't working very well right now. I went on to my YouTube and went on to my subscribed list, the podcast that I subscribed to list, and found the lovely Christopher of Flannel and Pearls. Now, if you have not had the opportunity to follow Christopher or to watch one of his podcasts, please stop this episode right now and go and watch one of his podcasts. He does this kind of interspersed episode called At the Table. And it was, how do I explain it? It was the balm that my soul needed at the time. So, you know, it's one of those episodes where he comes on and he works on a project just as if we were all sitting around the table. And he talks a little bit, and then there's silence and we all just knit together. And then he pops back with a little comment about something, and then there's silence. It's so calming and so beautiful. Please go and go quickly to watch his channel. It's beautiful. Follow him on Instagram. I will link to him below. So that is to say that this community it's beautiful, right? We come together because we do we enjoy a common hobby, but it becomes so much more at times. It becomes a place for us to get together, if not in person, just like this, and share, or just be in each other's virtual presence or real presence if we are so lucky to have a group around us. So I encourage you to find your favorite people, reach out to them and tell them how beautifully they are helping you with your journey or how much you enjoy the work that they do. That's why I love people like Christopher. I can just sit quietly and knit away and look up from my work every once in a while, and there he is working away on his project, looking up every once in a while. So find those podcasters or those people that bring you joy. Christopher is one of them from Flannel and Pearls for me. So now, I did not grab the Knitter's Tarot, so let me just reach way over here and get that. Sorry if you just saw my butt. Alrighty, let's give a shuffle and find out what the Knitter's Tarot has for us today. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. Oh, I think we've had this one before. The frog. Isn't he a cutie? The frog. Number 8. Okay. Loss, letting go, and ending grief. Oh, excuse me, I read that incorrectly. Loss, letting go, and ending grief. The frog. Letting go, that one kind of jumps out at me today, especially when you're working on a project. Okay, so I think we've talked about this before, but when you cast something on and you're knitting away, you're having a great old time, and you just know, right? I think as creators, we know when a project is not going to work. We know when the finished product is not going to be something that we wear. We know that we thought this yarn would be perfect for this project, but it's not. How do we find that place of letting it go so we can frog it, right? I know sometimes I put my projects in timeout. I put them in a bag and I hang them on the wall back there, only to look at them a week, a month, a year, 10 years later and think, why didn't I just frog this at the time? There is sometimes beauty in letting go. It doesn't always have to be. It always doesn't have to be that kind of negative feeling that I got from this description: loss, letting go, and ending grief. It doesn't always have to be that way. Letting go can be a beautiful thing. So what have you frogged lately? How did that feel? Tell me about it in the comments. So, my friends, that is all for today. I just wanted to thank you very much for joining me again for episode number 19. And I wanted to say so many thank yous to a lovely follower, Christine, who messaged me this morning. I'm just trying to find she messaged me this morning on Instagram and just said some lovely things about the podcast and about my sharing and things like that. And it makes me feel so great. And thank you, Christine, for that, because it makes this so worth it for me. just to know that there's people out there listening and enjoying what I share. So anyway, my friends, that's all for now. I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your Sunday. And listen, always remember, please do something kind for yourself every day. Take good care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.